Well, I think everyone's situation is different, and I'm no nutritionist. I'm also not super skinny or in shape or anything like that. I mean, I was like 255 at one point in my life. I was an offensive lineman in high school, and I'm about 6 feet 2 inches in height. So, kind of a big boy back then, and still now. But now I'm about 200 to 210. I think like 207 might be the exact, but in that range, give or take. So overall, just definitely don't take my advice. But I just wanted to get my kind of weight loss story out there so far as a record, And if my future me is watching, I am currently 24 years old right now. And yeah, I just want to treat this kind of like a journal entry, maybe give some advice at the end, just to kind of recap my experience so far with losing weight and everything. And maybe someone can gain a benefit from that. But again, everyone's situation is different. But even more importantly to me, when I'm losing my mind because of old age and assuming YouTube is still around, I can come back and watch this later on. Okay, so like I said, I've always been a big guy, which is weird because my brother is also tall. He's like the same height as me, maybe a little bit shorter, but he's always like weighed less. I mean, we would eat the same things logically because like we just ate whatever my mom made. We also both played sports our entire lives and everything. But I am a sucker for the occasional sweet treat, and maybe he just had a little less over the course of our lives. And in general, I think I probably just do eat more than him. There might be the side of it as our metabolisms might be differently, and effectiveness and stuff like that. But again, that's above my knowledge base, so I'm not sure. It's just kind of a unique thing that I've noticed throughout my life. I also see it with my cousins. Some of them are very big, while others are much smaller. It's just like, it's funny how that works out even in the same family. So a couple of years after high school, I don't know what clicked in my brain, but I wanted to weigh less. I never really disliked how I looked. I wasn't out of shape since I played sports in high school, but at that time, I wanted to make a change. And during this, I found something called the 75 Hard Challenge, which I think was somewhat new for the time, and for some reason I decided that was the thing that was going to lead me to the promised land of weight loss. And for anyone that doesn't know, 75 Hard, it's pretty much for 75 days straight with no breaks every day. You drink a gallon of water, work out twice a day for 45 minutes each. One of them has to be outside, one of those workouts. You have to do no alcohol, no drinking of alcohol, read 10 pages a day of a book, and finally follow a diet or just in general eat healthy, which I decided for me personally was just eating 2,000 calories or fewer in a given day, which for my size was definitely a calorie deficit. I think if you put my height and weight in a calorie deficit calculator, I'm pretty sure to maintain like losing 2 pounds a week or something like that was more like 2,300 calories. But for some reason, I just like the healthy number of 2,000, keep it real simple. So I stuck with that. And then also you make sure to take a photo of yourself every day to keep kind of like a log of your progress throughout, which if you are on, even if you're not doing this challenge, if you're doing a weight loss challenge thing, like definitely take like a photo of yourself every day. And if you're really sticking with it, like you will see change, and it does feel pretty good. It's insane how much your body can transform up and down, without you even really realizing it. And yeah, there might have been more specifics to this, and everyone can technically treat it however they want, but that's the gist of it. So I just locked in and I did it. No matter the situation, no matter the location, I made sure to do everything in the challenge every day for 75 days. I also had the app, which I think cost money, like $5 or something like that, which definitely not necessary. But for me, it was a nice tool to keep track of everything. You could even take the photos in there and everything. But again, not necessary. And how did each thing feel during the moment and its difficulty? Well, drinking the water was easy. I love water, and I could easily drink a gallon anyway. In fact, I had a gallon stainless steel water bottle, so it made it very easy to keep track of. And I definitely recommend it if you want to drink more water in your daily life to get, it doesn't have to be stainless steel, but just like a gallon water bottle. I know they can be heavy, but if you're like, you just have one thing and if you drink all of it in one day, you're good. 10 pages a day was nice because I was never much of a reader. Currently I'm trying to read more, but back then it's always just been a struggle to try to read more and get off my phone. But it also gave me an excuse to go to the public library sometimes, which is amazing, by the way. I don't know how public libraries are in other places, but if you have one, you should definitely support it. I mean, they got movies, they got books, they got music. I think, you know, public library is fantastic. And I should mention, I don't think I was technically reading the books it wanted me to. Like, I think it wanted me to read self-help books or something, like business books. But I think as long as you're reading, it's good. Oh, and I also used one of those little house library things for the first time. I don't know if other places have them, but it's like a box of books where you take one and like leave one, or if you take a book, bring it back once you're done. And it's just like outside people's houses. I really don't know the history of these things or who's putting these up, but where I live, they're definitely pretty prominent, and it was cool. I took one. I was on a different work site, like at a different town. I was working at the time doing construction, and I took a book, and then we came back like a week later and I just put it back. It was a cool experience. No alcohol was easy too. I wasn't even 21 at the time, so I couldn't buy if I wanted to, though it was hard when I went on a camping trip with all my friends. Not to say that I partake in illegal activities, but that aspect was maybe a little bit harder. Just the thought of it, like, oh, I can't do something. Anyways, something we used to do, this was something we do at least once a summer, and honestly, all of it was very hard during this time. Like the dieting, working out twice a day while camping with your friends, like it was all a little bit difficult. But despite the circumstances, I still went and I still had a great time. So don't let those kind of activities be your roadblock from committing to these kind of challenges. And then finally, to no one's surprise, including my own, the workouts and the diet were definitely the hardest parts. I mean, twice a day, 45 minutes each is pretty crazy, especially one has to be outside. So it's like, maybe plan accordingly if you do this challenge. I think I had a Planet Fitness membership at the time, so that would be my go-to, like inside workout. And then walking around or running was the outside portion. I will say I did a lot more hiking as well, which was definitely nice. I live in a very beautiful state with lots of walking paths and lots of hiking and stuff. Try to guess down below what state I'm talking about. And yeah, it's kind of just hiking central, so that was cute. That was cool. Not cute. I don't know why I said that. And then the less than 2,000 calories thing, my God, that was tough. I mean, I think this is the tough thing for everyone. This is the struggle we're all facing on a daily basis. I mean, for me personally, I love food. I mean, I know I shouldn't, but a sweet treat just is one of those simple pleasures in life that you can't really beat, you know? And like eating good food, you know, just it's hard to beat. I just, I like food. And again, 2,000 calories or less for my size was pretty extreme. Not insane, but like it was a struggle, and I had a lot more salads than I probably ever had before, which was tough because again, I was working at the time and we would do lunches and stuff, especially we were out of town, and being the one guy that was like, oh, I gotta follow my diet. It's like nerd alert. Anyway, there were probably days I went over, I have to admit, because it's hard to calculate the calories of a random lunch at a random location with ingredients you don't know without a scale to check like the amounts. But I really tried to go under even the circumstances and try to overestimate the calories of those meals to the best of my ability. But I think I did very good nonetheless, and I think the results show that, because despite the struggle, I maintained a level of motivation, devotion to this challenge I have never experienced before. And I lost like 20 pounds at the halfway point, maybe more, but I'm pretty sure I lost 20 pounds at the halfway point, and then like another 20 pounds or so at the end of the 75 days. So I think I lost like 40 pounds during this, maybe more, but I think I was like 250 to start and then 210 by the time I was done. I'm pretty sure. I mean, just overall, I lost a lot of weight and it was very fast. To this day, I'm unsure how healthy that was, but hey, I got it done, and then all my clothes didn't fit me anymore, especially my jeans. And that ice cream sandwich I had the day I was done, oh my God, how heavenly. It is a feeling that is hard to beat when it comes to consuming food. To have sugar after not really having it for so long. Then after that, to keep it short, I tried the second phase of 75 Hard, which I think was the same thing but for like less time. I think 30 days, and that was a terrible time. I honestly felt really good with how I looked before, and the second phase had just, you know, I had a little motivation for me to continue, but I wanted to do it. And I think I eventually did get down to like 185, probably a weight I haven't been since like middle school or something. Then I traveled, life happened, stopped caring so much, you know, again, it's traveling, gained weight, joined boxing as of somewhat recently, and lost weight again. And now I think I'm a pretty good spot. I'm pretty happy with how I feel. I think ultimately I do want to be like 200 pounds. I know technically I should be like 180 for my height and weight, but 200 I think is like the sweet spot for me, where like I still enjoy life, but I think I'm still healthy. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully. So what did I learn from all of this? I think there's two sides to this. One is that to lose weight is really just about calories in versus calories out. Pretty sure Sam Solik says the same thing. In the United States, it's also very easy to track your calories if you mainly eat in. Like, just scan the QR code and will tell you the generational lineage of the cow that was slaughtered to make the quarter pounder of beef you just ate. It is harder when eating out. Even a lot of big chain restaurants list their calories and nutritional information on their websites. You just gotta dig a little. And I think ultimately, everyone can lose weight. You just gotta be strong and self-control and be in a calorie deficit. I know there are, you know, people taking medications or special circumstances that make it harder for some people than just simply being in a calorie deficit. And again, that is why everyone's health situation is differently, and there's no one fixed solution for all. I know everyone tries to sell it like that, but everyone is different, and we should be okay with that as a society. But I bet if you started being in a calorie deficit today and worked out even for like 30 minutes, you would lose weight in a couple of months. If you're like, you know, the average person, I can't imagine that would not work. You just gotta lock in, eat less food, hopefully a little bit healthier food, go for a walk for 30 minutes every day, or an intense workout for 30 minutes, like 3 times a week, you know, that type of thing. And I think you could lose weight in this, at least the same time frame that I did. Maybe not 40 pounds, depends how big you are, but still. Okay, but what about the other side? I think at this point I realized I really wasn't doing something sustainable or frankly that healthy with 75 hard. I mean, clearly I still don't do it now, and I don't think I would. Life is too short to work out twice a day every day, in my opinion. But I also think I lost weight too fast, and I didn't allow me to maintain the type of muscle mass I could have if I did it more slowly. I also think I'm more the believer in just being healthy than being skinny. I mean, I know that everyone judges themselves and others for how they look, but I hate that so much. I think everyone should just strive to be healthy instead of trying to look good. Now, this is somewhat of a paradox because being skinnier is naturally healthier. Having less weight on your body is healthier for you. But I think the motivation behind it is a different thing. Do things that are healthy just for the natural case of it, like prolonging your life for yourself and the people who love you. And also just eat better, you know? Rice, pasta, potatoes, chicken, beans, eggs, good breads, and things like these can be cheap and healthy, I think, for everyone. I personally could eat the same things every day and not get bored. But there's so many ways to meal prep, cook healthy, and just consume healthy things without breaking the bank. What else? Okay. One last thing to wrap it up. Just be conscious of what you eat. Do research and start to have a healthier relationship with what you're doing. Just because you don't run a mile every day or on a keto diet doesn't mean you're failing. Realize that these companies want your food to be addictive. These influencers want you to buy their guide, and realize you have the power to be healthier despite all of that, and you can do it all on your own. Maybe I'm just repeating stuff now. Okay, this is probably the longest I've gone so far. I probably covered everything, but I guess I'll see once I'm done with this video. Yeah, thanks for watching.